Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for Ready to Love. So, this episode started out with everybody linking up, having brunch. And of course, there are people who already pretty much have people in their top, and they were sitting together. Some people were just like, we eating and mingling, I'm going to take advantage of the full process. Well, while Wiley and Tiffany were sitting down talking and eating, Dakia came over. Tell me why Dakia came over there and created the best scene of this entire episode for me. She asked him, "Are you Chuck Brown's son?" And I instantly was like, is she talking about the football player or the godfather of go-go music? And then I did some deductive reasoning, and then I looked at him and was like, the go-go, the godfather of go-go is your daddy. Oh, okay. That man was your father. I hear you. I see what's going on here. And I got my entire life because, first of all, y'all, let me be quick about it and tell y'all, I didn't like go-go music when I first heard it. I first heard it when I was back home. I wasn't here for it. I don't know what it was. When I first heard about it, I felt like just reading up on it, because I like researching stuff and like just historical information about certain things is very interesting to me. So I had read up on it a little bit. I was like, okay then. So when I listened to it, I was like, I don't know about this for me, because I like Zydeco. Off rip, when I heard Zydeco, I was here for it. And, it's just certain things I like, and I just instantly gravitate toward it, and that was not one of them. So fast forward to me leaving home and then eventually landing in Virginia. I used to hear people pass by blasting go-go music, and you can tell go-go music is happening when the beat is going on. It's very easy to spot it, in my opinion, right? And so I was like, okay, what's going on with this? Because it was an abundance of it going on. So I was like, why is everybody and their mama around here playing go-go music? So I look up the stuff, and I was like, okay. It was originated around these parts. That's why. Okay. And then I was like, well, let me see what it's hitting for. The Godfather. Wiley's daddy. So I listened to this song, y'all. Do y'all know this song right here? If you don't know, do you know it? If you know it, sing along. Okay. I was driving in my car one day. I saw a sexy lady walk my way. A banging body and a pretty face. So I whispered in her ear and said, I really like the style of your dress, you fly, yo. I want to see your pretty face in my show. I've been around the world from London to Chicago, but I ain't never met a girl like you. Shawty took a look into my eyes. She said, I heard you was a crazy guy. The hit and run of Georgia Porgy type. You like to kiss the girls and make them cry. I told her, don't believe the hype, cause I'm cool. Enough about me, let's talk about you. I want to get to know you and make you my boo. It's all on you, baby. And he said, child, that was the first time I got my entire life from that song. He didn't even do that much more. And so what? And then he came back again and he was like, so I asked her if she had a man. She didn't answer, so I asked again. Baby, I ain't trying to force your hand. Baby, I just want to understand why you try to play so hard to get. My name ain't no Romeo and you ain't Juliet. And she said, like, I'm just saying, I don't know what it was. I was like, wait, I was not here for this. So why am I here for it now? What is going on here? Child, I did not understand the correlation, because I was like, why is everybody playing this? And then, like, on the Real Housewives of Potomac, you hear the music. You hear it in the theme song. And I'm just like, what is, and I had to realize, I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I did not know it was that deep. I did not know the history. I was like, wow. But it took me moving away from home and hearing it here and giving it another shot for me to actually be like, okay, I like this. So anyway, that was my favorite part of this whole episode, to be honest. That's sad. But it was crazy how production did what they did when the question was asked. Wiley was in the confessional booth, like he was caught off guard. I'm like, why they show him like at the table, like, okay, yeah, this is what happened. Yeah, that's my daddy or whatever. So I was like, child, y'all did the most. So while they was in the middle of mixing and mingling, Tommy got everybody together and told them that there was going to be a curveball. There's going to be a quantity situation that's going to arise. And what's going to happen is there is going to be a blind date. And that Laverne is going to go on a date with this mystery person. And that Ace is going to go on a date with a mystery person. So then they went back to mingling and all that good stuff. We see Wiley having a good time with this woman named Tiffany. And so they seem to vibe very well or whatever. So then later on, we see him vibing with Dakia. And after everything was all said and done, they left out the building holding hands. They was doing the most. I was like, wait a minute. You gonna break Tiffany's heart acting like that? Because she lived for Wiley. But yeah, they, you know, he even lives for Tiffany. So I was like, okay, cool. Do what you do. Child. Like everybody mixing and mingling, doing what they're doing. Okay, so the brunch time, I guess, is over with. I don't know. But Joy was about to head out because basically Clifton and Joy hadn't been mixing and mingling, hadn't had any moments together because they had been like just talking with everybody else. And so he was like, no, I'm not ready to go. I'm going to have my 5 minutes with you or whatever. I ain't had no time with you. So I'm about to have me some time with you. Like, no, I ain't ready to go. Like he was doing the absolute most. Like he was basically like, I'm demanding to spend time with you. She was here for it. I was kind of here for it too, but part of me was like, I don't know. It's like part of me was like, this might be, this could come off as a red flag in a sense, a little bit. I don't know. It's just like depending on how far it go. I don't know. But it was. I get where she coming from, so it is what it is. So anyway, they hugged and enjoyed themselves. It is what it is. So Laverne ended up going on his date. The woman who he met up was this woman named Carmen. She's a boss, all this other stuff. Like she got a lot going on. Cool, it is what it is. But when he met up with her, he seemed smitten. He was doing the most. So you're thick. You look how I like him to look. And the way he was saying it, I felt like she subconsciously felt the need to say, well, I go to the gym 5 days a week. And so he was like, well, I go 6. And then she was like, okay, so is this supposed to be a competition or not? You know, even though she was fine with it if it was going to be a competition. But like I said, the way he was saying it to her, I don't know. It seemed like subconsciously it made her say, well, I mean, I go to the gym 5 times a week. But I mean, he was saying that he liked what he saw. So I was just like, okay. And, you know, he was just cheesing. He was here for the conversation. He was here for everything she was saying. He loved what she looked like. I was confused because at that particular moment, I had my glasses off. Because I was like trying to tame my hair a little bit. I was trying to do something. And a lot of times I'll just sit there and just watch the TV and watch whatever without my glasses on. And so I was like, I know I'm tired from work. Like y'all see it. I be looking real rough. I'm real tired. Like I got tried today. I really got tried today. I'm gonna get into that another day. But I got tried today, so I'm looking real rough. Like I'm looking child. So I was like, am I seeing things? I didn't know if I was seeing eye pencil or something that was of color under her eyelid. Like, well, you know, whatever. You know what that is. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if it was eyeliner. I didn't know what was going on. Because you know that there are some people who still do the color under the eyes and, you know, around. It's supposed to make your eyes pop and all this other stuff. And so I didn't know if that is what was going on or not. Because it kept showing her like turned to the side like this the entire time. So I was like, okay. And like she's looking at him at an angle. So I was like, does she have purple or blue contacts in her eyes? You 40-something years old. What's going on? Are you going to Comic-Con? I didn't know what was happening, y'all. I didn't know if she was going to Comic-Con. I didn't know what was happening. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if she was doing some cosplay. I didn't know what was happening. I really did not know what was happening. And I live for cosplay. So I was like, I don't feel like this is cosplay. Why? What is going on? She was looking, I just feel like if you're going to wear contacts, wear a color that suits you, that looks realistic, at least. And I really wasn't even going to bring up the contacts at all. Y'all, I was not going to bring it up. But later on in this episode, some stuff popped off and it made me say, you know what? If they can bring it up, I'm going to bring it up too. So anyway, he was done with his date. And, I don't know why her name escaped me in that moment and why it's escaping me right now. Ace ended up going out on her date with the mystery person. And the mystery person is this man named Cornelius. Apparently, if your name is Cornelius, your nickname is automatically going to be corn, corny, cornmeal, cornbread, some another like that. And so he seemed like he was very accepting of all those things, told people that that's what his nickname was and whatever else. So anyway, his date seemed to have gone well with her, and he was talking about he loved it. They were talking about mental health in the Black community. She was talking about yoga, meditation, and all that stuff. And he, at some kind of way, he slid sex into it. And when he was in the confessional, he was just like, I don't know how people can sit up there and say they have a list of things that they want in a relationship and all that, and sex ain't up there as like the top 5 things or whatever. So I was like, child, it is what it is. I hear you. Like, I mean, I hear you. So anyway, you know, they seem to have a great connection. They hugged it out and went on about their business. So moving right along, we see Joy go out on a date with Paul. And as soon as I saw him, I was just like, y'all know I am not here for Paul. He has given me this ain't it vibes since the very first episode. He don't belong there. I honestly feel like with this show going forward, they need to, if they want to continue with this, I feel like they need to change it up a whole lot by straight up being like, this is finna be Cutthroat. Name it Ready to Love Cutthroat. And then on the first episode, get rid of all these people who red flag, red flag, red flag. And it's to the point where these people are so close neck and neck to being trash and not the type of person that these people really looking for. Get rid of them all right then and there. Because he should have been gone the first episode. I'm sorry. He should have been gone the first episode. I can't. So anyway, production knew what they doing. They already knew what they was doing by sitting up here having simultaneous dates going back and forth for us to see. They have Joy and Paul, and then they'll go back to him, Clifton, having a date with Dakia. Joy's date doesn't seem to be going that great to me, and she was trying to make it seem like she was kind of interested in him, but I'm like, girl, why? Like, I'm just like, what is going on? But Clifton seemed like he was very interested in his date. At one point in time, he wanted to know what she thought about premarital sex, and she was like, sign me up. So that was right up his alley, and he was here for it. They seem to have a great vibe, too. I was very much so here for it. I'm an eye person. Her eyes are gorgeous to me. I love big, beautiful eyes. Her eyes are gorgeous. Anyway, so there was a ping pong situation that Paul set up where it was going to be like 3 men and 3 women or something like that, or 2 men and 3 women. If there were 3 men, I don't know who the 3rd man was because it was him, Cornelius, I don't know who else, but Sabrina was there. Tiffany and I think Precious, they were there and they were playing ping pong, and it just was what it was. And so the way that Paul was playing, he was acting like he was about to win a big bag. And Cornelius was in the confessional talking about he acting like he Pete Sampras. Right? When he said that, I died laughing. So if you didn't get the reference, then you wouldn't have understood anyway. But yeah, he had me dying when he said that, because I used to really live for tennis. And as I've already told y'all before, for those of y'all who've been around a while, y'all already know I told y'all I have played tennis before. My mama has taken me somewhere in the city, because we lived on the outskirts of Montgomery, Alabama. And I've gone and I've done tennis, and it was fun. And it just wasn't a situation that would have been feasible for us, because my parents ain't have it like that. We couldn't just leave and drive 30, 40, 50 plus miles one way all the time like that. So it just was a sporadic type of situation. But I had fun. I remember that day like it was yesterday. But it's awesome. I always try to look at stuff as if it's exercise, cardio, and all that other stuff, because it really is. So I had fun, and I was pretty much a child when that happened. And then later on in life, I started seeing Serena and Venus come up, and I was watching it on TV. I was already watching stuff like that on TV, but it just became more exciting for me once I saw people who looked like me on it. So it is what it is. So yeah, he doing the most of the ping pong, which I played ping pong before, and that is fun. But he doing the most. My uncle had this like rec room situation at his house down in the country where we live. And even the way his house was built, y'all, it was like 2 stories or whatever. I guess you could say a regular. It was like built into the ground, like. Child, it was everything to me. I always thought that the house was everything. But yeah, the rec room, like you could drive down and then it could be part garage, part rec room or whatever. He used to have darts in there. He did have the ping pong table. I think he had pool. I don't remember. But yeah, I know for sure he had darts and all the other stuff in there. He used to have so much stuff in there. It used to be so fun. But yeah, anyway, so Paul was talking to Tiffany and Precious at one point in time. But before that happened, I think him and Precious were talking. But then Tiffany and Sabrina went off and they were talking to Cornelius, because they wanted to get the lowdown. Like, he had to let them know what was going on. And I like when people do that. Like, let's get to the point. This process is, you know, going by really, really fast. We need to get to know each other, see what it's heading for. Ain't nobody got time for all this lollygagging. So they took the opportunity when he was off by himself, because ain't nobody here for Paul like that outside of this woman for whatever reason. I don't know what was wrong with her. But, yeah, they took the advantage of that and they were talking. So then later on, like I was in the process of saying, he ended up talking to Precious and, why I keep forgetting her name all of a sudden. Y'all, it doesn't snap into my brain like it should, as fast as it should. Tiffany. So he's talking to them. Tiffany is tired of Paul. Paul does have this way of talking to you. And I just been side-eyeing him since day one. I've been saying he need to go home. I don't even know why he's still there. I'm sorry. It's not fair that he got to stay. And like I just said earlier, they need to just have a savage type of situation and just be like, look, all y'all got to go because y'all trash. And we just going to have to start over. We just going to bring in a whole new group of people because all y'all trash or something because it ain't working. So anyway, but yeah, she called him out and was like, what is this about? Like, why are you just asking these crazy questions? He was asking her if she was into poetry, slams, and all this other stuff. And she was like, nah, but I mean, I would go or whatever. And so he was like, oh, well, if you were to go to a poetry slam, what would yours be called? And then he said something about, oh, when you go to the grocery store, do you greet the cashier? So she's trying to figure out what does one have to do with the other? And I'm sorry. I would have been like, yeah, like I can't. Like, I try not to be rude to people. I'm usually not rude to people, but he one of them people that I would probably have to excuse myself so that I don't become rude. Because it's like, I would have probably been like, what is wrong with you? What, do you not fare well when it comes to like approaching a woman or being in a dating setting. Like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't know what it is about him. And he thinks that what he's doing works. It does not work. And we're going to get into that later on. So anyway, they end up having like a golfing situation. I think either Clifton set it up or it was the new guy, Cornelius. I think it was Cornelius. I don't forget if it was him. All I know is one of the thick men set it up. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't reading for those of y'all who just got here today for the first time by me calling these men thick, because they are thick. And they are the type of thickness that I am here for. So, I mean, I'm just saying. So anyway, just to make sure I clarify, because people really be trying to come for me for literally no reason. So, you know, there are quite a few people there. Troy's there, who is the guy with the locks. Carmen gotta go. Carmen's sitting up here talking about, he has locks, but I'm not judging, but I'm judging. And I'm like, girl, if you don't get child, then she trying to read at one point in time to myself, well, you know, yeah, I want him to touch my hair because, my hair is real. Most of the women here, their hair isn't real. And it's like, girl, why does it matter at this point? Like, those contacts aren't your real eyes, but you don't want to address that. Like, what is we talking about? What is we talking about? You have these blue contacts in your eyes, look at a whole food, but go off though. So anyway, Troy was all the way here for Joy. Joy had on like this jumpsuit situation looking good. And so he was like, you do realize what you have on, right? And so she was like, I mean, I know how I'm looking. Yeah, I do realize what I'm looking, how I'm looking, because I wouldn't have put this on if I didn't know. And so he was like, oh, okay. So, you know, I know I'm about to be looking in. So he made it be known, I'm going to be watching you while you teeing off and all of that. So basically what is happening is Clifton is having his moments where he's trying to connect and mingle and all of that. And Joy is having her moments. Ace is there and she's just there. Like, she's pretty much like a fly on the wall. And in my mind, I'm just like, girl, why are you even here? I don't even understand. Because she wandered off and she was like, oh, I see everybody making their connections and they drift off and whatever. So I went and, you know, refreshed my drink. My drink was getting low, so I went to refresh my drink. And so she was just sitting over at the bar texting or checking emails, or I don't know what she was doing, but she was just there. So Clifton talking about, oh, well, I see Ace over there and I see that she like drifted off from the group and whatever. And so he went over there to check on her. So she felt like that was a sweet gesture, but sometimes she just wants to do her and just be off by herself. And I get that, but this is a process where you are trying to find someone to be with. This isn't the time to do that, because a lot of other people are not going to see it as he has seen it, or was able to at least get clarification and make sure that you were all right. Some people will look at you and be like, she ain't even trying. Man, they would go up in deliberation and be like, man, she went over in the corner, man. She wasn't even trying. And then you go home because you wasn't even trying. You're not even participating in the process at this point. And I get what she's saying, but I'm just like, girl, them people ain't trying to hear that. But it is what it is. She thought it was sweet and it was nice. And she was like, oh no, I love seeing everybody, you know, having their connections. And I just want everybody to find love. And I'm like, girl, I'm happy that you are so zen, so peaceful. And the yoga is working and the meditation is working as well, because meditation does work. But again, this is a process. So I'm going to need for you to jump in there. I'm going to need for you to jump in there, because a lot of people ain't here for you. And you saw what happened before. So anyway, Joy and Troy are finishing up their conversation, and it starts to go towards a sexual direction. And he was doing a lot. Like, he was basically trying to understand how far she would be willing to go, and I guess her pain threshold or whatever. His fool talking about some kidneys, and she was like, no, I need my kidneys now. Like, he really just doing the most, but then at the same time trying to say he passionate and whatever. I go slow and passionate. Child, you doing a lot. So then we see Clifton and Joy have a moment. And so he came over to her and was talking to her and was like, yeah, I see that they, you know, threw the curveball, but I dodged it. And he was not here for that context. He was not here for the context that she had in her eyes. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like he was reading, but he was reading, but he wasn't. And I was dying laughing. That is why I said I'm going to mention it, because at first I wasn't going to mention it because I was like, I ain't got time for nobody to try to come for me because I said what I said. Because it's like, why? What is the reason? You look crazy. This is not Comic-Con, man. What is happening? This is not one of those situations. I was just like, what is going on? Anyway, y'all. So now the men are about to deliberate. They over here talking about the experiences that they've had, who they like, who they don't like. It is what it is. And so they have decided that, oh, no. Before I even get there, this is what I want to tell y'all about. Okay, so Tommy, he is listening to Paul and to, who was the other person? Paul and, who was the other person? I don't know why I can't think of the other person. But Paul and somebody else, it's just, when they explain stuff, their rationale and just the way that they say stuff, it's just like, oh, Laverne. I had to see his face to remember what his name was, well, who the person was. Him and Laverne, the way that they explain stuff and the way they do stuff, it's too much. So, like, Tommy wanted to know from everybody who you really feeling. And so people was talking about they ain't here for Ace like that. And so he was like, she is peace. She is love. She is Michelle Obama. She is Beyonce. He was setting it off. And Tommy was like, wait a minute. Hold on. She Michelle Obama. She all of these things wrapped in one. Like, it was so funny because Nephew Tommy was like, I got to take a break because y'all, the two of y'all be doing too much. And I was dying. Like, it was so hilarious. So anyway, Paul ended up meeting up with Tiffany, and Wiley ended up meeting up with Ace. And so one of the ladies had to go home, and the person that went home was Tiffany. Tiffany was not here for it. She trying to understand what you mean, you know, who ain't here for love? And then he was like, can I get a hug? And she was like, no, I ain't here for that. Like, and so Wiley, I thought that was kind of cool. It was kind of sweet how when he got up to tell her the news, he walked around the table or wherever they were sitting, and he like stood like right up in her face and revealed to her that, you know, there were several men who were talking about they haven't experienced her, as she likes to say it. She likes to say that she's an experience. And that's the problem that they are not seeing, is that you have to experience her. And he wants to be one of the people who sees more of what she displayed that day when they met up, because he'd already had like a date or something with her before. He wasn't feeling her. He actually said in the deliberation, like, I'm not here for her. All she talk about is yoga. We couldn't get past yoga. And so that's when, I was about to say Clifton. That's when Cornelius, you know, was like, I think she dope. You know, she was everything. You know, it was what Laverne set it off over her. So it is what it is. But I don't know how much longer she gonna last, because a lot of people are not here for that. I'm trying to think of the person. Like, there's a character that was played on TV that she kind of reminds me of, but like a modern day version of it, where it's like everything that, oh, I guess like Freddie Brooks a little bit. Y'all know. Cree Summer. Kind of giving me that vibe, but like a modern day version of that. But anyway, y'all, that was the episode. It seems as though a whole lot is going to pop off over this season. And I, again, was very much so here for the scene where, the Kia asked was Chuck Brown his daddy. Anyway, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Give this video a thumbs up, and let's talk about this in the comment section. Bye.